Hi, you're watching Wall Street Confidential. I'm Deborah Borchardt. I'm talking with Jim Cramer, and we're looking at China today because, some people are feeling that it's just not going to work over in China. The stimulus that they're trying to put in is not working, and we're all banking on China getting better, but...
I think that stock markets are a very good barometer of the future. And all the stock markets in the world are going down because most of the stimulus is failing.
Okay.
China's is the only one that's going up, and it's going up quite strongly. It's double-digit up. The Baltic dry freight, which is up from 600 to 1,100 this morning, is confirming that. I see oil not going below 40. I think that's Chinese buying. I know that we've been attacking the Chinese. We ought to just let the Chinese run rampant because they can be an engine to pick us up. The only thing I'm not seeing yet is copper. If I saw copper stabilize, then I would absolutely know that China's on its way back.
Well, what about the argument that if the American consumer has stopped buying, we've stopped shopping, and we're kind of their driver of their factories. Their factories are making all the little gadgets that we're buying over here. What's behind that?
Well, Deborah, I think that they're trying to reinvent their economy with the stimulus package.
Okay.
I think they're trying to stimulate domestic consumption. They have so many people, you have 200 million people there who are just moving from, well, they actually had 20 million just go back from cities to rural. They got to reverse that because the rural is where the unrest could go. But when you have 200 million people without goods and services to speak of, that's a pretty big market to sell into. So if you can put those people to work, you can take up a lot of the slack from the 300 million Americans who may not be buying as much. And I think it's really important to recognize that all of their initiatives are about giving rank and file money.
Getting them to work.
In other words, they're not trying to reopen and create more factories that sell overseas. What they're trying to do is put people to work in true infrastructure, whether it be telecommunications, tech infrastructure, whether it be bridges and roads. They have a gigantic airports, underserved infrastructure. And I think that unlike us, where we have an underserved infrastructure, but we do not have the capital, they have trillions of dollars that they can put people to work.
But doesn't that take time?
I think that the difference between us and the Chinese is that they can mandate things. We'll have a Congress that simply will not go along with the game plan. China just says, okay, look, we're about to have mass unrest. Let's put people to work, even if it means just hire them for the army. They will put people to work. That market is going to lead us out. I don't have a lot of positive things to say about this market. I just don't, because there's not a lot of positives. You'll get a UPS that's up because it wasn't as bad as expected, but actually is bad.
But
you're
not buying the doomsday scenario of China.
You can't. We've been buying the FXI for ActionAlertsPlus.com. It's been a disaster. It hasn't kept pace at all. But I don't care because I think it eventually has to catch up to the Chinese market.
All right, so we got some positive things.
China's all positive. I really think that people have to pay attention to the idea that could be the driver.
All right, great. Thank you, Jim. Stay tuned for more at TheStreet.com TV.